Hello everyone, and welcome back to That's Not My Neighbour. You may remember this game from my short series, Reasons to Play, but I thought I would bring you guys along with me while I do some achievement hunting. I do already have a few achievements from just playing the game a little. We'll be focusing today on page 1 achievements for now, and then moving on to page 2 later. For full clarity, I did look up Chester's answers, as I did have a few goes myself, but I wasn't able to answer all the questions successfully. So I do have the Chester badge and the achievement already. There's loads of guides out there for Chester, so I won't be covering that here. First one we're going to go for is what I thought would be a super easy achievement, the F rank achievement, which I believe you just have to allow in all of the doppelgangers and kill all the neighbours. I did have a try at this last night, but I only managed a D rank as I forgot what I was doing and I did let a neighbour in. So let's just jump into this, see how many achievements we can get. We're going for the worse than Henry, get an F rank achievement, so let's hop in. Waiting for the DDD to do their thing. I was trying to remember how many people have stood up and how many have still got to go. Thankfully the game provides the answer for me, being at this point that I've remembered which way round it needs to go. Fingers crossed. Summary page comes up. We've killed 5, we've allowed 5 in, and there's that F rank. Hopping into the achievements, we can see we've now got that worse than Henry achievement. I was trying to figure out which one to go for next. A lot of these just take us some patience and some luck. Decided to aim for the Peaches achievement, which is just to meet Peaches in the game. I can also work on the catching 100 doppelgangers and winning 40 rounds achievement while I'm doing that. Thankfully I didn't have too long to wait as I loaded up the next round and started to go through the neighbours as usual. Look up his description as well as the ID number just to make sure that matches. Double check that there's a logo and dates on the ID. There's a DDD logo on the entry request as well as the right floor. He goes through and I'm blessed with the face of Peach. With all his peachy glory, stands so happy in front of me, but sadly buddy, you're not on today's list and I can't let you in. DD find him a new home and I go back to finishing this round to get the achievement. One more down, just a couple more to go. I was doing some practice for the Steal Memory achievement when I actually got a really lucky run where the doppelgangers were really obvious and the ones that I did need to call, I actually knew the numbers for. Now I use the term know the numbers loosely as Nacho steps up and I did struggle to remember her number. I end up dialing some amalgamation of numbers, hoping that it was the right one to just be a dead number, and then I end up calling Gloria by accident. I was pulling all the numbers that I could remember out of my brain as I was dialing. Didn't get it right the first couple of times, but I persevered and eventually managed to get through to the residence. At this point I'd gotten pretty confident that I knew what I was looking for in appearances. Arcade or normal mode is a lot kinder when it comes to the differences for doppelgangers. To break up the rounds a little bit, I did jump into Nightmare to give that a go and to also start practicing for some of those achievements, and oh boy, let's just say that's going to get the death count up. Next we had Afton come in, and if you didn't know, there is a reference to Five Nights at Freddy's with Dr. William Afton. Afton is a catalyst for a lot of things in Five Nights at Freddy's, so if you don't know anything about him, it might be worth looking up, as is also featured in Nightmare mode. Anyway, back to this game, we've got Arnold here, who wasn't on today's list, and everything else looks fine, which means I do have to call up. I was checking everything just to make sure before having to call up, as I couldn't really remember the number, but I knew it was in my brain somewhere, so I did end up calling it, and I managed to get it right on the first try. Arnold and Gloria's number seems to be the one I call the most, so it is worth remembering. Anyway, we're going to finish up the round here to get the Steal Memory achievement for not opening any of the files. Another one down and only 5 more to go for the rank 1 achievements. Gonna jump in time a little bit here as the next achievement I went for was just going to take a lot of time and patience. That achievement is called Hunter, and that is capture 100 doppelgangers. This one was more of just a brute force achievement where you just got it organically over time. Nothing special to do, just play the game. While on the topic of just getting achievements by playing the game, the next one that came up for me was the Quarantine achievement. For Quarantine, you'll need to survive 40 playthroughs. Again, no real tricks here, you'll just need to have some patience. I was doing some practice in Nightmare mode when I saw the hooded figure appear. This guy gives you that Open Your Eyes achievement, which is on the page 1, so I was quite surprised to get this in Nightmare. It's a luck-based achievement, and apparently you can get it in Nightmare. With that one done, I had but one achievement left to go, and that was arguably the most daunting one of all. That achievement, of course, is 100 playthroughs. Again, there's no trick to this one, it is quite literally brute force. But with that one in the bank, that's page 1 done. Now to page 2. First one up for page 2 is the 3 times achievement. For this one you just need to do the same action 3 times, whether that's let them in 3 times or call the DDD on them 3 times. Like with most others, this one is just luck based, you just need to keep playing in order to find it. I did find that this was quite common in Nightmare, so you shouldn't have too much problem. Just like in Arcade, Nightmare also has its own version of Chester, only this one not so nice. Chester will ask you a series of questions, which serious kudos to whoever found the answer to these, because they are really difficult. The answer I stood a chance of ever knowing was the Temple of the Great Beyond for Zul'Farab. Thanks Warcraft for that knowledge. There are loads of guides to the answers, and the unofficial wiki has also been updated to include them. Feel free to pause the video just to see the answers, or you're welcome to look them up. Answer all of his questions correctly and you'll be rewarded with the Chester badge and the Chester achievement. Really quick and easy one to get is the Headache achievement, which is just be killed by the entity. To do this you just need to get 2 neighbours killed by calling the DDD on them. The entity will appear the first time you accidentally kill a neighbour, and then will kill you the second time you kill a neighbour. Next up we had 2 of the Welcome VIP achievements, the first one being 42. The VIPs can just be let straight in, you don't need to look at any of their documents. The second one was a little bit bugged for me. I'm not sure if it was just me because I've seen everyone else have no problem with this achievement. I actually got the Welcome the Nurse achievement for when 42 stepped up to my window. I wasn't recording as I wasn't expecting to have received the achievement, but if you look at the first couple of seconds of the clip, see the cup symbol flash, and when I go into achievements I had the Welcome the Nurse achievement. On this page you can also see that I got Welcome Peaches and also the Defeat Nightmare achievement. The footage of that unfortunately got corrupted, so I don't have it. One on page 2 for me tied in with the last one on page 1 for me as well, and that's the Collector achievement. It's the last achievement got for the time being. I'm sure there's more to follow as more game modes come out. With that done, I'll leave you with a bonus clip of what happens if you say no to the clown.